Long episode yesterday, so a shorter one today, but listen back to yesterday's episode if you haven't heard it already, because it was quite involved, but hopefully really, really useful. And again, it's the kind of information that you don't get anywhere else. I have searched through an awful lot of books and an awful lot of websites trying to formulate some of these ideas which I'm bringing you today about the keys to reading out loud with correct intonation, and I haven't found this information anywhere else. And these examples, okay, so this is all brand new stuff that I'm bringing to you for free on Get a Better Broadcast podcast and video voice. I'm Peter Stewart. The example that I used yesterday was really quite in-depth. It was quite involved and quite a complicated explanation what was going on there amongst your friends and talking about what you were going to do and who was going to do it and where and why and who with and so on. And it is, as I mentioned at the back end of yesterday's show, your intonation which helps the listener through who's doing what with who and when and why. And that, of course, is the point of intonation, to signpost the sense of a story. One quick example today. Again, it's in the show notes. So read it out naturally and then look at the construction. And with what you know so far, what we've spoken about over the last week or so, work out the contrasts and therefore what the colour words are there. Okay, so it's the sentence that starts the climate action group. So look at that. You may want to put the podcast on pause for a moment, and I'll be back as soon as you release me and let me go, as Engelbert Humperdinck once sang, and then we'll go through it together. Okay, see you the other side. And we're back. Thank you so much indeed for looking at the show notes, if you did, and also having a go at the intonation for the sentence there. Wouldn't you lift the words felling, flying, and eating? Yeah, because they balance each other, and they also balance trees, miles, and meat. Yeah? What about the climate action group said humans were felling too many trees, flying too many miles, and eating too much meat? They were felling too many trees, flying too many miles, and eating too much meat. But again, remember subtlety and nuance. You don't need to batter your listeners' ears with a push or projection or a volume of voice by the same amount every single time there's new information and a contrast, which leads us to tomorrow and the shades of colour that you might give to a word or phrase as Get a Better Broadcast podcast and video voice continues. From London, I'm Peter Stewart.